Hey guys, what's going on? It is JJ Wilson here. And so, for this review, audio recording, I decided to do a little review for the anime series known as Shakunetsu Kabaddi, or in English, Burning Kabaddi, right? So, this is a relatively different sport that most Westerners are not accustomed to. I'm sure some people have already heard of the game, whereas for me, it's like my first time ever hearing about the sport, and it happens to be an anime. Who would have guessed? So, we need to first figure out what is Kabaddi. So, doing a little research, Kabaddi is a contact team sport, and it's originated from the country of India. So, in total, you have 7 players on each team, making 14 players on a court. And there are 2 different styles of Kabaddi. You have the circle style, which is a little smaller and involves less players. And then you have the standard style, which is what you see in this anime, with the indoor court that's rectangle in shape, with the half court line and all that good stuff. And so, with this anime, they're playing the rectangle standard style. And so, it's 14 players in all, and each team has what's called a raider. And that's typically their quickest guy. So they get their quickest guy on the team. And he has to cross the court. And he has to tag as many players as he can who are on defense. And before he can make it back to the half court line, the defense has to stop him from getting there. And if they don't stop him, then that's how he can score points. And so sometimes it can go back and forth. Like a team can score 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, depending on how many guys they tag. And if the opposing team scores a point right after the first team does, then the people that were tagged out, they can come back in for defense. And sometimes that doesn't always happen. So this term came about a couple of times in the anime called Iona, which is basically all the players get tagged out and they don't have anybody playing defense anymore. And that's how the next team can score even more points that way. Once they get every member on the opposing side out tagged, then that's how they can score a Yona. And so, what exactly are the characters in this anime? So, it's centered around this guy named Yogoishi. And so, Nagoshi attends Nokin High in Japan, I'm assuming the Tokyo area. And so, this guy was a former soccer star. And so I guess he was so good and so talented that he just got bored with the sport. And next thing you know, he just up and decides to not play soccer anymore. He just kind of got lazy and he decided to be an internet superstar doing his own live streams and stuff. Funny how I'm doing that right now. Not trying to be a star or anything, but that's his whole plan. Like he just wants to be the next internet sensation. And a couple guys from the high school kind of caught wind of his activity online, and they decided to follow his page. And at first he didn't get that many views off this website, but next thing you know, he got a lot of views, and that's all thanks to this guy who goes by the name of K. And K wanted him to join the team because he heard about how good he was in soccer, and he felt like his athleticism could serve well playing the sport of kabaddi. So in the beginning of this anime, Yogoshi is not really feeling this sport. He thinks it's stupid and kind of pointless. But over time, because he's a competitive guy, and guys like Kei and some of the other players on the team, such as Musumi and Shinji, they're kind of teasing him, saying, "Yeah, you could play the sport if you want to. You just gotta try it one time, just see how it is." And they kept begging him on to buy it, and eventually he started to like it. Especially by the time the captain joined the team, named Ojo. And Ojo, he doesn't look like much. He looks like he could be this frail dude that could be broken in half at any given time. But oh yeah, this guy is very experienced. He is incredibly quick, light on his feet, very evasive on offense, and he's probably one of the best raiders so far in this anime. And thanks to him, he actually helps Yogoshi become a better raider, since Yogoshi is already athletic enough to be one. And so Ojo is a highly influential guy, and he's by far the most experienced player in the Kabaddi series, where not only does he train Yogoishi, we also find out he trained everybody else on the team, as well as the second captain, K, and even another player from, what high school was that guy from? Koyo High School. He was in the same grade as Yogoishi. His name is Sakura. And so they played them later in the series. They played Koyo High School. Then they play another high school called Sowa High. And that has 2 stars on it. And one of them is a rival to Ojo. And he's probably the heaviest guy that they played so far. And he can raid as well, but he's a little slower. But he's so strong to where you need 3 or 4 guys to get him down, to keep him from getting across the line. And so this guy's name is Rokugen. And then they have another guy who's their best raider, who's more agile on the court. Not quite as strong as Rokugen, but he's very agile. He's almost like another Yogoishi. His name is Takuya Rin. And like Yogoishi, he used to be a former athlete of swimming, but not soccer, but swimming. So that was his specialty. And so, like Yogoishi, he decided to try something new. And they kind of formed a little rivalry middle of the game, you know, just because they had these crazy abilities to evade players and things like that. And so overall, there's 2 games. So after Noken High School gets their team assembled and they're trying to get ready for the big tournament coming up in the fall, well, actually in August, in the late summer, they play these 2 high schools. The first was Sowa High School, and the second was Kyoyo High School. So those are the 2 teams that they play. And I won't tell you the outcome of the game, but I will say the players are very intense. They definitely get hurt. You'll see bleeding foreheads from all the tackles that they get. You know, so it's not a sport that you can take lightly, and being a full contact sport. So that's something that a beginner in the sport of Kabaddi has to take note. Like, this isn't something that you can just play around with and think, oh, this is just like tag. No, you're going to get tackled, and there are going to be times you're going to get really hurt. So overall, I thought it was a good show. Pretty creative way of explaining what Kabaddi is all about, showcasing the variety of ways the sport can be played. And probably one of the weirdest things about it is the chants. The Kabaddi chants, right? Kabaddi, 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 Kabaddi. Kabaddi. So yeah, I don't know if that's standard, but you have to say that over and over again while you're trying to tag somebody, I guess, in order to make it legit and tell them that you're coming. So I think that's what that chant symbolizes. So man, it was pretty funny to hear it. And every time a dude tagged somebody, you know, the show had to give that monkeyer phrase, struggle. See? Struggle. So every time a player got tagged, struggle. So yeah, it's little stuff like that kind of made the show pretty funny to look at. So yeah, in a way, I do kind of compare it a little bit to Kuroko no's Basket, a little bit, in terms of the action and some of the drama that comes with it. So yeah, I'll probably give the show, I'll give it about a 7.5 to 8 out of 10, probably, if I had to rate it out of 10. You know, some things could have been a little better or a little bit more better explained, but, you know, for the most part, pretty entertaining show. But yeah, that's going to be it from here. Tell me what you think about the show, too. And there'll be another anime review coming very shortly. All right, take care.